I'm always, upgrading my knowledge with kind of fellow digital marketers that are super successful. Some of them, Gary Vaynerchuk, others, Neil Patel. I don't know if any of you have heard of any of them, but they're like very successful with digital marketing. And a lot of the advice lately that I've been learning about is that your most engagement with email marketing is really the most simplistic emails that you can actually think of. And we spend, and I do this with my clients, but now I'm doing A/B testing. But we always think the more flashy and promotional and pretty and branded the email, the better, the more attractive they look, the better engagement we will get. But lately, that's just not the case. And the reason for this is that we are so flooded in with advertising, and that our minds are so tired of it. And the most, like, as you receive these emails, as soon as you open it up and you see a logo or a brand, you delete. And I know I do this all the time. It's automatic for me. I don't even read it. I don't give them the time of day. The more promotional the subject line, the more I'm like, I don't even want, like, my mind is I'm trying to manipulate, like, or I'm trying to sort of analyze, okay, is this subject line trying to sell me something, right? And right away, I just delete it. Sometimes I don't even open the email. So subject lines are number one. What you want to do is speak to an emotional aspect of that person's life. Okay. So depending on who your audience is, you want to speak to their pain points in that email. Like, let's say divorce, only because I'm thinking, George, with your thing, I'm thinking of, a household needing to be separated or whatever, or moved out. Speak to the pain point. It's like, I know for me, like, just the thought of packing stuff up and even that sentimental aspect of it, right? To go through all of those things that, you got at your wedding or whatever. Like, I just don't even want to see it. I don't want to look at it. Just like, move me out. Somebody put that shit in boxes and like get me out of here, right? Sorry, Anthony. Anyway, so, you definitely, with your subject lines, you want to speak to their pain points, and then it will capture their attention. They're like, "Ooh, how can you solve my problem?" So you want that curiosity aspect. So you don't want to reveal the entire thing in the subject line. You want to leave them hanging so that they will click. Okay. So asking a question is really good. Once you now get into the email, I'm actually going to share my screen right now because it helps to actually see. Of course, I have 1,000 tabs open. Okay, so I'm just gonna go find one in my email. So we all know what promotional emails look like. They're branded, they're beautiful, they have color, there's lots of buttons to click on. An example of a very simple yet extremely successful in terms of open rate. Here's Neil Patel, like I was talking about. It says free LinkedIn course, how to get 100,000 followers. Okay. But look at his email. Look at how simple this is. There's no brand on it. His face is there just like yours or my face would be there if we actually had a favicon or whatever. But every sentence is on a different line. We can read this in about 12 seconds. And there's links to anything that's important, but they're not buttons. They're not pretty. There's zero branding. There's a very simple unsubscribe thing down here. And it's extremely personable. It's not professional. I would not call this professional at all, but I can't help but read through his entire email. It doesn't take me any time. B, it's simple, and it causes me to be curious because it's so simple. It's not branded. So I'm like, ooh, is this a personal email? Now I know Neil Patel, so I now know what to expect. But this is very different than something that is super bright and vibrant, and you know, there's a lot of information, lots of places to look. You're almost overstimulated with a newsletter type of feel or format for an email. You also want to give valuable information in these emails, but short and sweet. So all of these links are moving to his website or to a YouTube video or to a blog that is like of really good information for someone like me who does digital marketing. So I never ever delete his emails ever. If I don't have time to read it, I will save it or I will keep it in my inbox until I do. This is what you guys want to be doing if you're doing email marketing. Don't do a beautiful newsletter, short and sweet. If you have a blog, you want to link to your blog. If you have a video, you want to link to the video. If you have a website landing page, link to the website landing page. Just focus on your subject line to make sure people actually get into the email. And then once you're in the email, don't make it any longer than this. So that's, you know, my 5-minute bit on successful engagement with email marketing.
I'm guilty of long, crappy emails.
Yeah, we all are. We all
guilty.
Yeah. And this takes, how much time do you think this takes him? And you know what? He has spelling mistakes almost every time. And I appreciate it because it's personable, right?
Yeah, they say to actually put 1 or 2 spelling mistakes in so that it looks like it was crafted specifically for you.
Exactly. It feels like it was a rush thing and it feels like it's personable. That's what that does. And I hate grammatical errors and spelling mistakes. Like, it is my pet peeve. And I probably will still never do it just because of my reputation. But like, I see it almost in every one of his emails. And
you're saying sentences with semicolons and things like that are really a bad move, like compound sentences and
run-ons and just make it short and sweet. There's lots of spacing between the lines. Almost every sentence is on its new line. So I started doing this for one of my clients who had very pretty emails before I came on board. And I'm like, let's try this. Their engagement almost increased by 50%. So like, it works. We are weird, like in the way we think, like we're curious, right? Humans are curious. It's like, ooh, what is this? This looks like it's not branded. When something's branded, you know who it's from right away. With this, you actually have to read through it to be like, oh, what exactly are they saying here? Now, of course, I know Neil Patel now. So for me, I get that this is what I'm expecting, but I know that I can read this in like 12 seconds. Right? So it doesn't take away from my day. It's like I can get the valuable information from this 12 seconds of my day, and I don't feel like I lost out on reading a novel of an email. Right? So anyway, there you go.
2 points to this. I put it in the chat section. I mean, the conversion code, which actually is a guy who just does for realtors, builds Curator. He has a pretty good book. And again, he gets right into the data and all this stuff about how keeping it simple, first, second, third email, does a great job with the metrics and all of that on moving people through that funnel. And then one of the things that I've been hearing from every source is that video in the email is really working right now. And again, if it's just a link, like he has, watch this. What happens, especially if you customize that video just for that person, because they're not going to read the email, but sometimes you can literally get your sales pitch across, just like we're making video. It's what everyone isn't doing right now. So you always have to be doing what everyone isn't doing.
Outside of the box, absolutely. Yep, you want to differentiate yourself.
And loom.com, it makes it real easy to make quick pop videos. You can integrate it right into your Gmail.
Cool. That's awesome.
That's it. Great. Any other questions or any points for everyone as far as next week? Let me just check this list here.